Hey everybody, this is Candice Adewale of the Loving You Lifestyle, and I am back with another video. We are going to be talking about today the 7 reasons why you may not be getting the most out of your level up. And the reason why I decided to make a video addressing this is because another sister friend and I were discussing how a lot of women seem to be frustrated because they feel like they're doing all that they can do and they're still not seeing the results that they want to see as they are leveling up and trying to live their best lives and really make a difference for themselves. So let's jump right on in there with number 1. You're looking for motherhood, not sisterhood. And I really came to this realization when I saw that a lot of women were looking at me to continuously teach them all the time. And when I say teach them, I mean like direct teaching them. And I was kind of perplexed because I was trying to figure out like, okay, I'm trying to step back and give a more feminine style leadership structure, but I seem to be getting a little bit of pushback, and some people don't seem to be receptive to this style of teaching. And someone else brought up the point that some women are looking for motherhood and not sisterhood, and I couldn't agree more. I think some women in the Level Up community are looking to those in the feminine leadership to be their mom, to be their mother, and tell them every single thing to do, or they're looking for a Medea figure, or even a surrogate husband to tell them every single thing to do, outline it. Okay, go do this, then do that, then do this, and don't do that, and you better not do this. And I think that there are some that gravitate towards a more masculine style of leadership within the feminine community. And you know, there are some feminine leaders who are actually more masculine in their style. They come off with what I like to call like this press on type femininity, or you know, they think that because they slap on some lipstick and a wig and they know how to make their voices go like this, that the energy that they project is feminine, but it's not. And their style of leadership is very masculine, and it's very obvious. And I have heard so many stories from so many women that deal with a lot of women who are femininity educators, but yet very, very masculine in their style of teaching. I know that that is not me and my style. And I actually find it quite ironic that women who are on their journey to be more feminine expect masculine style leadership from the women that they are looking up to. But, you know, sisterhood, you know, the level up is not a passive thing. And you really have to, you really have to understand what sisterhood is all about. Sisterhood is circular and it's collaborative. So there is this, you know, back and forth giving. It's the support that is needed. And so, you know, if you're looking for a mother, you're not going to be a very good sister. And that can be very burdensome to those in feminine leadership to continually be dealing with those who want a mother, they want a Medea, they want a surrogate husband. So that may be, you know, you have to really kind of examine yourselves and see where you're at individually if what you're really looking for from the feminine community um, is a mother figure and not an actual sister or a mentor. So, number 2, moving on. You aren't prioritizing your mental and emotional health. Oh my goodness. I cannot say this enough. Deal with your trauma. Deal with your trauma. Um, Deal with your daddy issues. Deal with your mommy wounds. Deal with whatever it is that you need to deal with in order to be emotionally is sound. I think that I can safely say that the vast majority of women in the level up community are marriage minded women. Not all, because I see that there are some women who want to be sugar babies. There are some women who are looking to level up only to make money and to enhance their careers. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are those in the level up community who are happy being single. But I do believe that the vast majority of women want to be married at some point in time. And so I think that if you're on this journey and you really do have a lot of trauma to deal with, then you're going to want to prioritize your mental health, because I really don't see how it is possible for you to carry that big bag of trauma into a hypergamous marriage, um, and be successful in it. Because, as I know, as a woman who was married, your issues are magnified 10 times more in a marriage, because you become extremely vulnerable because you can no longer hide. And if you haven't been actively working on the things that you need to be working on, then there's going to be like this magnifying glass on you in marriage, and you're not going to show up your best. Again, as I always say, you do not have to be perfect for marriage. And I do believe that being married to a healthy, emotionally healthy man does help bring certain levels of peace and healing to your life, but you still have to do the hard work. And that's still no, marriage is no substitute for counseling and mental health services. So make sure that you are doing that. Number 3, you haven't identified your long term and short term level up goals. Do you want to be a sugar baby? Do you want to be a well kept girlfriend? Is marriage on your radar? Are you looking for mentorship? Are you focusing on money? Um, do you want children? Do you want to focus on your wardrobe? Are you weight loss? There are so many different aspects to the level up. And if you haven't really identified your long term and short term level up goals, you're going to just kind of be lost and kind of shooting arrows in the dark, hoping that something sticks. And I really want to help you to maximize your journey, maximize all your time and effort so that you aren't running in circles, that you aren't doing too much, that you aren't spending too much, and that you're really being effective for yourself, obviously, on your journey. If you all need any help with that, I want you all to please reference my video, The Level Up is Not for Free, because in that video, I outline in very explicit details the 6 key areas of your level up and where you're going to want to spend a certain amount of time in each of those 6 key areas. So, and one thing I want to add, like a little side note, a lot of the advice that I see going around in the level up community I think it's mostly positive. However, there is a lot of advice going on that is only helpful for short term level up goals. And if you're a marriage minded woman, some of the advice is not going to be conducive to sustaining a long term marriage. So please be careful with some of the advice that you may be getting, which leads me to number 4. You are in spaces where the blind are leading the blind. And good Lord have mercy, I see this a lot. There are spaces where people just decide, okay, I'm going to start a level up group. Okay. And, you know, I think that that is helpful only because I know that some of us are on this journey and we just need to be around like minded women. And so, for that reason only, I see that those types of groups are very helpful. Um, some of us don't have the support of family or friends. And I know there are many, many women who have expressed how they have lost friends on this journey. Family members can't understand where they're coming from, and you just need the support. So I do get it, but at the same time it can be damaging because you have people who are not experts on in particular subjects or on particular subjects, and there's a lot of advice that I see going around, and I just kind of give a side eye, like, okay. Um, it's like, where are you getting this from? Have you studied? Uh, have you done any roundtable discussions with men? Or do you know any wealthy women? I hear like a lot of women giving advice on hypergamy and rich men, and I'm just like, how many rich men do you actually know? Um, how many hypergamous wives do you actually know? And so it's quite disturbing. And I just, sometimes I just don't say anything because at this point in the game, I'm tired. And excuse me, I'm tired and I just don't have time for arguments or drama. Matter of fact, one of my goals for 2020 is to not participate in any online drama, any online arguments. If someone starts to argue with me, my answer is okay with a smiley emoji, and I keep it moving. And I'm staying up out of the comment sections too, because the comment section on social media will trigger you and drag you into some arguments that you did not really want to get involved in and waste all kinds of time. So, you know, I just keep my mouth closed on a lot of things. I just observe. I'm just observing in a space. But make sure that you are surrounding yourself with women who have some sort of receipts for the things that they are talking about, whether it be clients, client reviews, whether they have books, whether they are living the lifestyle that you would like to live. uh, if they have any other credentials, like they're an actual therapist or they are certified in particular areas. Just make sure that, aside from those types of groups, that you are actually connecting with women who have some sort of credentials or receipts for what they are talking about. And there are a few women that I, admire and I can co-sign for women like Crystal Harrison. She has gone on to become a certified stylist, and she also is an etiquette coach. And Namaste Moore, she's actually married and she gives very sound advice on marriage. And I really love what she said. So there are quite a few people out there that have some receipts, have some credentials that you can kind of gravitate towards outside of just being in random level up groups and bouncing back and forth ideas with women who really have not even obtained the the goals that you are looking to obtain. It's like, have you even received one proposal ever in life? Um, have you been married? It's just like, okay, if you're continuously talking about hypergamous marriage and you've never had even one man to propose marriage to you, it's just like, okay, calm down, please. So let's move on to the next one. That is number 5. You aren't getting outside your box or making enough connections. Are you really getting outside of your box, outside of your neighborhood? Are you traveling? Are you connecting with different organizations, maybe like the Junior League, uh, or other organizations that you would like to be in so that you can be around the types of people you need to be to transition your life, to elevate your life, to level up? Are you traveling enough? Um, my goodness, get your passports. I cannot. You all know. You all know me. I I always talk about international travel. Like, international travel is not even that expensive anymore, really and truly. So you really need to start getting out there in the world and becoming a global citizen so that you can have a better perspective on your life. And that's something else I want to add. This is like a little side note. I also noticed that women will give generalized advice for what works in the States and not globally. So there is some advice that women are giving that is very American culture specific, and it's not really what's happening on a global level. So, especially if you're a woman who wants to start dating internationally, if you want to start traveling internationally, please inbox me, because I consider myself a global citizen at this point. I live in Italy. I've also lived in Spain. I've lived in Puerto Rico. I've traveled to Africa. So, I've traveled to a few other countries too. I'll be in another country in 2 weeks, and I will definitely be posting pictures of that on my Instagram. So, it's definitely different. So it's not a one size fits all kind of thing. So, anyways, make sure that you're getting outside of your box, that you're making connections and that are strategic and beneficial to you. Number six. Oh, I said sex. Number 6, you're playing checkers, not chess. There are some people that just refuse. They're basic and they're going to stay basic. They're not being strategic. They're not watching how they're making their moves carefully. And people who continually play checkers and not chess are going to be on a hamster wheel. So make sure that you understand that the game that you're playing, and that goes back to, like I said, understanding your long and short-term goals, the type of game that you're going to play for yourself. Lastly, number 7, you aren't embodying femininity. Femininity is not just about looking pretty. That is a part of it, looking like a woman and making sure that you are groomed and that you look pretty and that you look soft. But it really is much more than that. It's about your behavior, it's about how you treat other people. If you are quick to jump into ghetto mode the second your little feathers are ruffled, I can assure you that you most certainly are in masculine energy, or you have a lot of it, because feminine women approach problems and situations a little bit differently, and we use our words a little bit differently, and our focus is a lot different. It's about how you approach certain tasks during your day. It's about understanding what is feminine, energetically feminine, and about maximizing the feminine attributes to your benefit. It is important for you to understand the activities that you participated and where they flow from energetically, if they flow from the masculine or if they flow from the feminine. All of us, all human beings, including men, have both feminine and masculine energy. However, if you are a woman that you are wanting to live a consciously feminine lifestyle, you really have to minimize the number of let me backtrack, energetically masculine tasks that you do. The more energetically masculine things that you do, the more your masculine energy will rise, and the more you will live predominantly in that energetic force. If you want to live feminine, you're going to want to do predominantly energetically feminine type things, or find ways to complete tasks in a more energetically feminine way. And, I have, across the many years, have come across women who like to debate me on that. But it is what it is. And um, you really do need to learn those things so that you're embodying feminine energy, so that you're not just thinking that femininity and feminine energy is solely about how you look, or that is solely about getting a man. And I think that's another reason why I kind of shifted a little bit on my platform. I used to talk about marriage a lot, but I shied away for a variety of reasons. And one of those reasons was because I feel like so many women put an emphasis on their femininity and attach it to getting married or a man. And your femininity is not just for a man, it's for everything that you do. And it is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle choice, and one that has brought me a great deal of joy and pleasure. So, I am going to go ahead and close at this point in time. Again, these are the 7 reasons why you may not be getting the most out of your level up. So just, do your individual evaluation, see where you can grow and change and tweak. And, if you need any help, you can certainly reach out to me. I look forward to seeing the comments to this video. I'll make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll leave that information in the information box, and as well as some of my links to some of my favorite places and things and books that I'm reading that I think will be beneficial to you and your level up journey. You all have a lovely, lovely evening. Take care. Ciao.